Namaste Haribo. I send my greetings and best wishes to all of you out there in Toronto. I'm in Kazakhstan, so that's why I'm saying I'm sending it out to you over there. But we're connected worldwide now with this World Wide Web and also with the worldwide virus, right? So, namaste, all my friends in Toronto, my best wishes. Not only Toronto, I'm sure somebody's joining from, Ottawa or Mount Tremblant or who knows, throughout Canada. So to all of you, Haribo, thank you for coming to us. And we are going to continue with a very, hopefully, insightful presentation about the eye of the storm. Hi, my name is Balakhilya, and I'm a happy man. I've always been a happy man. But before, I was a happy man because of my ideal material situation. I was healthy, living on a remote Hawaiian island, surfing the best waves, no job, no obligations, free. But I wanted more, a deeper inner satisfaction, and I knew it could only come from a spiritual source. I started practicing yoga asanas, meditating, eating a vegetarian diet, studying yoga philosophies, and so on. Then one day, I met my spiritual master, Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, and under his expert guidance, I entered the world of Bhakti Yoga. From that time, my desire for inner peace and happiness has been increasingly fulfilled, and the smile of internal happiness has continued to grow. The title of the lecture is, as you well know, The Eye of the Storm, something like that, and a yoga perspective on disease, fear, etc. So before I go any further, I'd like to offer my respects and obeisances to my spiritual masters, Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami. So yoga is both a philosophy and a practice. So I'm going to speak philosophy tonight, but to begin with, we're going to actually practice a yoga meditation. It's very, very easy. You can learn it right now in moments. And you can actually use this every day to bring you to a completely different vision and experience of life. So the meditation is called Gauranga breathing meditation. I'm going to explain it very briefly. There's a long explanation, but this is going to be short because we do have a time limit. So the mantra is Gauranga, and we're going to divide Gauranga into 4 syllables. Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. That is the mantra we'll be using. Mantras are transcendental sound vibrations. See, they originate in the spiritual realm. They descend into this material realm. And when they come from the spiritual realm, they bring with them great spiritual power and great spiritual potency. Because this potency is present, when we come in contact with this sound vibration, we automatically receive great benefit. So, this is the easiest of all meditations, but at the same time, the most effective. So again, the mantra is Gauranga, Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. We inhale through the nose slowly and gently, but deeply. Take the air all the way down to your lower abdomen, and then feel the body from the bottom up. Now, remember, all the while we're inhaling, we're chanting Gauranga in the mind. Okay? Gently, softly in the mind as you inhale. Gauranga. When the body fills with air, we begin to exhale, and out loud we chant Gauranga. And then we repeat. Inhale, Gauranga in the mind. Exhale, Gauranga out loud. Before we begin, we want to relax. We want to relax our entire body, our face, our neck, our shoulders, our chest, obvious places of stress and tension, and actually the whole body. And even more important, relax the mind. Very difficult, but we want you to focus on relaxing the mind. So we inhale, big breath, exhale, let it out, and let all that tension, anxiety, frustration go away with the breath. While we do the meditation, we want to listen closely to the sound and put our mind on the sound. Meditate on the sound. So I know you're at home, so try to eliminate as much distraction around you as possible. Get as comfortable as you can. Say you can be sitting on the floor, you can be sitting in a chair, but just so you're comfortable. We're going to keep the length of the mantra somewhat short, so everybody can be comfortable with the length of the mantra. We're going to close the eyes once we've learned the mantra to prevent any distraction. And we're going to sit quietly when we finish the mantra for a few moments, eyes remaining closed, and feel the effect. All you got to do is follow my guidance. See, it's simple. You don't have to remember a lot. Just follow my guidance. Okay? Everybody take a big breath, let it out, and relax. Two more times. Haribo. So you can see this is a very easy meditation to do. And I'm also quite sure you found it very relaxing. It's an excellent way to begin your day. It's an excellent way to end your day, but you can do it anytime. So add this to your life. You see, this is something that you don't only do when you got a problem. Oh, I'm in such stress or anxiety or going crazy. No, you use it in the good times and the bad times. See? Why? Because this is spiritually purifying. When we come in contact with this transcendental sound, we get great, great spiritual purification. So it's not only just about stress release. This is a purification of ourself, which leads me into the next topic. See, we have to start from the ground up to explain things gradually. I think the idea was to give a yogi's perspective or a yoga perspective on this whole world situation now, disease and fear and anxiety and stress and difficult times, right? What is the yoga perspective on this? So the yoga perspective is you got to know who you are to begin with. If you don't know who you are, you don't know what to do. See, our main scripture that we study in our bhakti yoga process is the Bhagavad-Gita. We're going to give a few quotes from Bhagavad-Gita as we go along. Now, in the very beginning of Bhagavad-Gita, the instruction starts with identity. Who are we? See? And unfortunately, we don't know. We think we know. This is part of the illusion. Oh, I am, my name, whatever my name is, and I have my racial extraction, and I have, a member or from this country, so I am Norwegian, or I am American, or I am German or French. I'm young, I'm old, I have my family connections, therefore my family identity is this and that, and so on. And we're so attached to this idea. We absolutely believe this is who we are, you see. And it causes big problems, for ourselves and for others. See, every day on this planet, because we're so determined to maintain this false identity that I might kill another person just because they got a different label than I do. They're black, I'm white. They're from this country, I'm from that country. And so on. It's crazy stuff, But it's reality, isn't it? And as we go through life, our identity changes. You know, it starts off with babies and then boys and youth. And, you know, we go on and go on. And finally, we become adults. And we have some profession in life, and we're known according to that profession: doctors, lawyers, secretaries, nurses. We get married. Oh, immediately we're a husband or a wife. Then we have a child. Now we're parents, fathers, mothers. See, time rolls on. Then we get a new identity: grandfathers, grandmothers, etc., etc. And this continues until we finally get the last label of all the labels that we've attached to ourselves along the way. And that last label is dead. Some people don't laugh at this, but if you understand what we're talking about, it's like identifying with our clothes. You know, I am this name brand. I am North Face, or I am, you know, Nike or whatever, you know. And when my Nike shoes die, oh, I don't have that label anymore. It's absurd. You know. We look in the mirror every day, but we don't see ourselves. But we think we do. You see, this is not who we are. We're actually not these material bodies. All scriptures of the world confirm this. See, you read any scripture and very quickly you'll hear the truth: you're not your body. We don't read scripture anymore. This is the modern world. That's old stuff. See, so now the new high priests are the scientists, but they tell us the same thing, uniquely enough. See, they've proven it. Why do we like scientists? Oh, they prove things. In the laboratories, they've proven, you know, that we're not our material bodies. They've discovered that every cell in the body is replaced every 5 years. Every 5 years, we got a new body. Some cells have a very short life. Lining of the stomach, those cells live 5 days. You see, liver cells, 6 weeks, and so on. But in 5 years, it's all different. The eyes I'm looking at a photograph with that was taken 10 years ago are different than the eyes that were in the photograph. It's all changed. So anyway, we could go on and on with this idea, but we're not our material bodies. Then we learned from our Vedic teaching that we actually have a second body. Let's see. What? Another body? Yes, we have a body that's called the mental body. And this is the mind, the intelligence, our false identity. This is the mental body. And so we often identify with that too. I am my thoughts. I am my desires. But no, this is not who we are either. These are both material, but actually we are in a different category of energy. Our Vedic literature, which we use as our source of information, actually describes very plainly that we are in a different category of energy. There's two energies: material energy and spiritual energy. Our bodies, both gross body, physical one, and the mental body, subtle energy, are material. But we are spiritual energy, tiny little spark of spiritual energy. And we learn about the different characteristics of these two energies. Material energy is temporary, comes and it goes. We know all too well our bodies are very temporary. You know, that's why we don't even want to talk about this subject. Let's don't talk about that, see. So material energy, all, is temporary, but spirit is eternal. Therefore, I, being this tiny little atomic-sized spiritual spark, am eternal, see. Eternal means no beginning, no end. That's me. No beginning, no end. Eternal personality. We also learned that material energy is non-living. And again, that's easy to see. You know, here we have a microphone. It's not living. You know, here I have a cup. Not living, see. But we learned that spirit is life itself. There's no such thing as live matter. There's no such thing as dead spirit. So we're the life force in the body. And as long as we're present in the body is called alive. Actually, this is not true. The body's dead. We are alive. And that becomes very obvious at the time of death. At the time of death, we leave the body. And at that moment, the body reveals its true nature. See, can't even sit in a chair, it falls on the floor. All activity in the body stops. Flat line, heart stops beating, all these things cease. Why? Because the life force, me, the spirit soul, has left. So we're not our material bodies, either the gross body or the subtle mental body. Our true identity is spirit soul. Spirit meaning I am spiritual in essence. And soul meaning the individual spiritual spark that we eternally are. We never become someone else. We never cease to exist. Now, I understand for some people this is very depressing news. What? I'll always be me? Gee, I thought it was going to be over soon. Sorry, it's never over. But when we learn the truth in life, this becomes very wonderful news. See? So once again, we are spirit souls. And we further learn we're a part and parcel of the Supreme Soul. There is a Supreme Soul from which we all come. We are known as the Atma, and the Supreme Soul is the Paramatma. Now, understanding this foundation of yoga truth, it's absolute truth, it never changes, we can begin to have a different look at perspective of life. If you want to know one subject that's the most confusing, the least understood, the most mysterious of all subjects, it's life. Scientists have been scratching their head about this forever. Well, how did it begin? And they come up with some theories which are absolutely incorrect. See? And another question is, okay, where did it come from? Again, they have some ideas incorrect, you see. The big question, what's it for? See, we all have to deal with that one, don't we? Maybe you don't care where it came from or, what it is, but we have to deal with what's it for because it's us. So we have to consider, what is my life for? I get this question many times. What is the purpose of life? So with the yoga knowledge, you can answer all these questions because you gain knowledge. If you take any kind of an exam, if you have knowledge of the subject, you can answer the questions. If you don't, you can't answer the questions. See? And so what more questions are more important than the questions about life? You see? That is the big question. So now we have this very unique situation on Earth. We see it as unique. It's not unique, but it is kind of unique in one way. Coronavirus spread across the planet, and it's changed the way people's lives are. They are quarantined. They're in homes, little spaces sometimes. Can't go to work. Can't socialize like they like to. Can't do many, many things that they used to be able to do. Now they're restricted in movement, you see, and so they're definitely, difficult situations for many people, And then the future, what's it going to be like? Oh, the economy is going to crash, the food supply is going to dry up, and on the thing goes. And the anxiety is, am I going to get this virus? You see, maybe I'd better be careful about this social distancing recommendation because I don't want to get sick. You see, wear a mask, all the different guidelines that have been presented. Some people don't accept that. Some people have other ideas of that whole concept. But nonetheless, we all have to deal with this in one way or another, you see. But if we go to the Vedic scriptures again, we learned that, for instance, disease is a part of life in the material world. There's 4 basic problems of life in the material world. One is birth. Say, birth? That's a problem? Actually, it is. See, every time you enter into another material body, you enter into problems. You see? There's some theories that say, oh, it's not bad. But we learn from the Vedas that birth is very problematic even in the womb. A lot of suffering goes on in the womb. The birth experience itself, very, very difficult. And then all the other things begin. You know, the teething problems. Can't talk, you can't communicate. You got some issues, you know, something's hurting, you're hungry, you got gas, whatever. All you can do is cry, but the one who's taking care of you, mom or whatever, she can't, what's wrong? What's wrong? She can't communicate. You know, you can't walk, then you start walking, you fall down all the time. You know, and you grow, and then you got growing pains of all kinds, physical and mental. You know, and it just goes on and on. You know, so anyway, birth is a problem because it puts you into a difficult situation from day one. Then disease, you know, I think that's the big subject, you know, on the planet today, disease. You know, disease is a part of being in the material world. Bodies get sick, you know, some more, some less, according to our karma, according to the way we take care of their bodies. But nobody, I'm sure, that's sitting here listening to this presentation has not had some disease in their life. Common cold, you know, big ones, little ones, heart disease, maybe if you're in that category, diabetes, you know, tuberculosis is roaring the planet. A lot of people out there today, thousands of people have coronavirus, and so on. Disease is a part of material existence. And then old age. See, that's another problem, isn't it? You know, and what? It's unavoidable if you live that long. See, the only one way to avoid old age is to die young. So we've got another thing to deal with, old age. And then finally, the exit from the body, which is called death. Remember, we, the spirit souls, don't die. You know, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, you know, death is inevitable. For one who is born, death is certain. For one who dies, birth is certain. Why is birth certain after death? Because we're eternal spirit souls. So he says again in chapter 2, you know, text number 20, for the soul, there's neither birth nor death. See, the soul enters a body at a certain time, and he exits a body at a certain time. But the soul is just entering and exiting. He's not being born. He doesn't die. So for the soul, there's neither birth nor death. Nor having once been, does he ever cease to be. The soul is eternal, ever existing, primeval, unchanging, immutable. The soul does not change when the body changes. The soul does not die when the body dies. See, Krishna describes it's like clothes. You know, when the clothes are worn out, you take them off and put on new ones. The body wears out, you take it off, put on a new one. This is the yoga perspective of life, you know. Now there's so many people just completely in anxiety, you know, because coronavirus is presenting a death threat, you see. If it was just, you know, oh, if you get the coronavirus, you'll just get a little runny nose, maybe a sore throat for a couple of days, and that's all. We wouldn't be worrying about it. Who cares? That happens all the time. See, but no, this one might be a little different if you get it. See, it can kill you. This many people died today. You know, the morgues are full. You know, there's no place to even put all the dead bodies, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, that gets our attention. It's now a panic. See, it's a pandemic panic because we don't want to die. See, it's interesting. I know all the hotlines in crisis hotlines in Norway, and also not only Norway, in all the different countries that have such things, are busier than they've ever been. You know, the phones are ringing off the hook. People are texting. People are calling on different ways, for help, And one of the things that they're telling me now about these calls is that the amount of calls that are saying, I got suicidal tendencies, I am contemplating suicide, have doubled. The number of people now that are so stressed out and so much fear and anxiety from this, quote, unique situation, that they're committing suicide, contemplating committing suicide, and some are actually doing it. I can't handle this. Now people are in isolation. And again, they're so dependent on, being able to go and do and see whatever they want to do and see and be. They can't handle it. Mental breakdown, suicide. Some are actually doing it. Suicide's been on the increase for some years now, especially among young people, which is another indication that this is not the first time this has been going on. People have been increasingly under stress and anxiety. They're lonely, they're empty inside. So the obvious solution is, I'm the body. I got all this problem. Remember, mental body, physical body. So I've got all this depression and anxiety. I see no reason to live, because the materialistic philosophy of life is meant to be happy. If you're not happy, why live? And unfortunately, they don't know what real happiness is. It's true. Life is meant to be happy. That's the nature of the soul. Happiness is the natural condition of the soul. That's why everybody is looking for happiness. But we don't know who we are. We think we're the material body, the material mind. And so we're trying to find happiness from a material source, from stimulating our senses in unlimited ways. Satisfying the eyes, satisfying the ears, satisfying the nose, satisfying the tongue, satisfying the sense of touch, especially the genital, satisfying the mind, thinking about all the pleasures, etc., and expecting that to make us happy. But it doesn't. And when we experience that reality, then it becomes very depressing. Life is for what? Why live? If I've done all these things, which are supposed to make me happy, and most people have, because it's opened up now, you can do anything you want. There's no guidelines, there's no restrictions. It's all okay. If it feels good, do it. The prevailing philosophy of the world. So everybody's going to the extreme to be happy in all kinds of ways that our clever minds can envision. And using our God-given intelligence to implement these fantasies, and it doesn't work, then why live? It's all a lie. There is no happiness in this world. Some people are saying that's not true. I am happy. There are people who are experiencing the result of good karma. In previous lives, or maybe early in this life, we've done things that brought about a good result, meaning a good material situation, which gives us this illusion of happiness. But I, the spirit soul, do not derive any pleasure from material happiness. No matter how much pleasure I put on my tongue, how much pleasure I bring to my genitals, it does not make me, the spirit soul, happy. And that's why we can experience sensual burnout. So you're completely burned out. And again, if you've tried it all and none of it works, then you might as well just not live. So that's where suicide looks attractive. For a person who's in a sane condition of consciousness, suicide sounds like a crazy thing to do. Because we have an innate, built-in desire or feeling or understanding to not die, because we're eternal spirit souls. Death is foreign to the soul. It does not seem right. There's a huge contradiction. See, that's why old age and impending death seems like something that's necessary to avoid, because it's not normal, we think. I don't want to die. And that's why, again, people are so distressed by this coronavirus. I don't want to die, you see. So when the yoga perspective is brought into play, understood, a person actually begins to live according to this yoga lifestyle and has a complete change of understanding of life. He gains knowledge, the ignorance of I am the material body, this world is my home, I can be happy here, I am the Lord, I'm the enjoyer, I will do what I want, I play by my own rules. You see, don't tell me what to do, you see. When all that illusion is dispelled by knowledge, because it's all untrue. See, it's all fake news. That's the big buzzword now, right? Oh, this is fake news. This is conspiracy theory. That's the ultimate conspiracy theory, that I can be happy in this world. You know, that is absolutely not true. When I know that, that is the beginning, but that is not the end. That's the beginning. Now I have to arrange my life in such a way that I can actually experience spiritual happiness. See, it doesn't come from just knowing I'm not the body. That's a relief. See, a friend of mine was dealing with breast cancer for years. You know, and she had a lot of people that she was associating with that had the similar situation. See, it was a support group on the internet. And so she posted that verse I quoted from Bhagavad-Gita. You know, for the soul, there's neither birth nor death, nor having once been, does it ever cease to be. The soul is undying, eternal, ever existing, primeval. The soul is not slain when the body is slain. She posted that on the bulletin board on this group, you know, support group. And people wrote her and said, this helped me more than anything else. Now I know I'm not going to die, you see. So they had the knowledge, but now we have to go to the experience of the spiritual happiness to be happy about life. Because knowing you're not going to die takes off the anxiety. I'm not going to die. I'm going to continue to exist. But for some people, this is a bummer too, because their whole existence has been unpleasant, unhappy. Even when I thought I was happy, deep inside, I knew I wasn't. You know, I covered it up with so many activities and so many, you know, intoxications of all kind of different types, you know, and degrees of severity. But, you know, underneath all that, I knew I wasn't happy, see? So to hear they're eternal is like, oh my God, this is the worst thing I ever heard. But when you follow the yoga teaching, the yoga knowledge doesn't stop with you're not the body, you're not going to die. That's where it begins. It talks about the happiness of the spiritual life, the spiritual world, the spiritual relationships. See, and it gives us practice to do to begin to taste that sweetness. See, the whole concept of truth is based on the fact that I, the individual eternal spirit soul, have an eternal relationship with the supreme soul. Remember, Atma, Paramatma. That is an eternal relationship that is already there. I don't have to make it. It is already there. It's eternally there, but it's dormant. It's inactive. I'm not getting any benefit from that, see, which is a sad thing. You know, the most wonderful thing in the world, which is already a part of my life, I don't even know it exists. I think I'm spirit soul. I think I'm the material body, see? And I'm spending my whole time in this world completely denying that wonderful relationship. I'm trying to find that perfect, loving, eternal relationship with the relationship in this world, which again are temporary, and they cannot fulfill me, you see. And they're often filled with great, great disappointments and heartbreaks. So many people are brokenhearted right now because their loved ones died, of this virus, unexpectedly so. 3 or 4 months ago, this thing didn't exist. Then we heard it's in China. Oh, that's far away from us. That's their problem. It's killing a lot of people over there. Yeah, okay. And then it gets closer to home. Oh, it's moved. Now it's in South Korea, and it has worked its way toward us. And we're going, oh my God, it's coming. And then but it's still in other countries. Oh, but there's only a few in this country. And then it just increases. You see, and it gets closer to home, and we get more aware, and it's like, whoa, then we get more afraid. And then they start imposing, the preventive measures, okay, stay at home, shelter in place. You can't go out, can't do this, can't do that. Oh, I don't want to be restricted, but maybe I better because, I don't want to get sick and die, But it's happened to a lot of people regardless of whatever, precautions they may have taken or not taken. And so it's broken a lot of hearts, a lot of people, in great distress. They're, people are leaving this world, meaning they're just leaving their bodies, and they can't even be with their loved ones, you see, because it's forbidden, because then you might catch it and then you'll have to be in the same situation, see. So it's a very special time now. But if we have this deep internal understanding of who we are, and we have done what we need to do to establish this relationship with the Supreme Lord, and it's real, it's not fake, it's not imaginary, it's not fantasy, imagining some spiritual relationship with the Supreme Person. It's very, very real. You know it, you feel it, you in the heart feel it in your heart, you see. And it's on that platform of stability that we can actually have a complete happy life. See, there's a friend of mine right now. He's been practicing this truth, this yoga philosophy, bhakti yoga philosophy, for quite a few years, 10 years or more. Sincerely accepting this, understanding it, doing the practices, and he has now established that relationship. He is in the hospital right now with coronavirus. And he's having a very difficult time. It looked like he was going to leave his body a few days ago. Then he had an improvement. His temperature went from 42.2. Now it's down to 37, but he can't breathe. He's on a ventilator. Whether he'll make it or not, I don't know. But the point is, he's okay with all of it, He's listening to the transcendental sound in the form of these mantras. You see, we have online programs. He's able to tune in and listen to the online programs that we're doing. He knows he's in God's hands. He's absolutely feeling secure, even though he's, who knows, this far away from leaving his body, which is freaking most people out completely. He's calm, he's peaceful, he's in the eye of the storm. The material world is a storm. This is just one small tornado in the middle of a huge hurricane that covers the whole material world. It's not just planet Earth. The whole material world is a storm, see? And there is an eye in that hurricane, and that is the peace, the shelter, the calmness, the freedom from anxiety, the shelter of love for God. He has that. He is in the storm completely, but he's peaceful and quiet because he's in the eye of the storm. And that's not only for him alone. It's for every single person that wants that protection, that shelter, a place to rest their heart, a place that will dispel all fears. When you're in the eye of the storm and you know the storm out there is raging, but it's not going to touch you, there's no fear. When you're with one who protects you completely, you don't have fear. The reason we're afraid is because we don't know anything about life, which includes death. See, death is the most fearful event. It's the unknown. You're going into this great unknown abyss, you know, and everybody's got their philosophy. It'll all end here. That's the suicidal idea. You say, if I kill myself, it's all over. See, or I don't know where I'm going to go. A person that thinks things continue after that moment, but I don't know where I'm going to go. You see, it's so unknown. And so therefore, it's a great fear. And we're not meant to die because we don't die. So if I identify with the body and I think I'm going to die, that's fearful. But if I know I'm not the body, I'm not going to die, what is there to fear? It's just changing clothes. Are you afraid every day when you take your clothes off? Have to put on some new ones? Old clothes wear out, put on new clothes. Oh, so I'm so afraid of, you know, that. No, you're not afraid, you know. So you can see the yoga perspective is very different. But it's not a path that we just follow whimsically, trying to figure it out along the way. There is expert roadmap. There's guidance. You know, now, you know, if you travel in, you know, the mountains and the wilderness and so on, there's so many devices, so you can't get lost. Used to be you could get lost. That was kind of part of the adventure, right? Can't even do that anymore, you know. You know exactly where you're going. So you got the GPS tracker, and it takes you from this point to this point, and so on. And if you find you can't go to where you thought you could go, you can retrace your steps because it told you where you went. You don't get lost going back. That's modern technology, right? The yoga system is better than that. You see, the GPS can only take you so far. But the GPS at the time of death is not going to help you at all. You can have the best GPS Phoenix watch on your wrist, it's not going to help. But the yoga teaching is actually the perfect map. You're not trying to figure anything out. We're told what to do, how to do it. We're given practices to make it so all these truths become not only a reality, but more understandable. All of it becomes more and more attractive. The fear dissipates. Like when the night is very dark and you're in the forest or somewhere, you know, night can be very scary. You can't see what's out there, you see. But when the sun starts coming up, you know, you start seeing things and all those scary things, you know, you heard noises and so on like that, you know, you're not afraid anymore because the light has come. The sun comes up, all fear of the night or the darkness disappears. So when the sun of knowledge comes up, the light of knowledge comes up, you become enlightened in the light of truth. See, the fear of the darkness of ignorance goes away. And again, we're guided by the Vedic scripture. This is the yoga scriptures. You know, I'm specifically saying the yoga scriptures, like this Bhagavad-Gita, it is the roadmap of life. If you follow this, you know where you're going and how to go there. You see, it's not just whimsically hoping this is the right way. Oh, I made a wrong turn. I got to go back. And, oh, I hope this is the right path. You know, no. You know, and the spiritual master. He is the perfect guide. You know, if you're lost in the forest and you meet a person who says, I know where you are, you don't, but I know, and I know how to get out. And you trust him and you follow him and he takes you out, it's easy. But if you're wandering around hoping this is the right animal trail to follow, every step you go is filled with doubt because you don't know if it's the right way or not. You see? So all of this is very, very crucial. If you want to navigate the path of life and come out in the absolute perfect situation at the end, see, you must follow the perfect guidance. The scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, and the spiritual master. And when the instruction is given to do this, you do it. When it's given, don't do this, don't do it. See, here's practices, implement them, do this, you do it. It purifies. And all of this results in a life that's not only worth living, it's the most wonderful thing of all. All depression, gone. All fear, gone. All anxiety, gone. All loneliness, no more. You see? And instead of just making it through life, you're going through life in the absolute bliss of ananda, it's called, or joyful. You're in a joyful mood always. So, on one of my Happy Man videos, I think you guys watched a little thing in the beginning. Somebody was asking me about the coronavirus, and I was like, are we happy about the outside situation and all this? No, we're not happy about what's going on outside, but we're happy inside. That's a different world completely. This world, the material world, and all its ups and downs and comings and goings, the happiness and distress, which is inevitable. And then, the other world, the internal world, the spiritual world, where we're safe and secure in our loving relationship with the Supreme Lord. And the value of our life is in serving and pleasing the Supreme Lord. See, this is true. This is not some religion. This is not some do-good philosophy. This is absolute truth of life. And I know it's very trendy now to run away from religion. Oh, religion is bad. See, this is absolute truth. Call it whatever you want. It's called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal occupational duty and perfection of the soul. So that is who we are, spirit, soul, and we have a purpose in life is to develop this knowledge, this relationship, which we lost completely, bring it back to life and get the full benefit of that loving, nourishing relationship with the Supreme Lord. And then we can actually love all other living entities, our husbands, our wives, our children, our friends, humanity at large, enemies, all, because a person in this condition has no enemies. This is the message for today. This is the yoga perspective on disease and fear. Physical disease and, unfortunately, even mental disease, especially in this time, hey, it's going to be here. Not all people have mental disease, but we have some mental issues, these depressions and so on, if you want to call them a disease, you can put whatever label you want on it, but there's going to be issues, right? It's a part of life in the material world, but we're not the body, we're not the mind. See, fear, all that is gone. The unknown becomes known, see, and then, hey, you can smile on the inside, see. So this is real positive thinking. This is the real solution. I'm not minimizing the severity of the coronavirus on planet Earth right now. Do all the things that you should do to be cautious, to be careful, protect yourself, protect other people. Don't be nonchalant thinking it's a non-event. You see, don't be stupid, be careful, be aware, see. But at the same time, be calm, be peaceful in the way that I've described. So we're going to end now with a very short meditation that is also, of course, transcendental sound, bringing it into your life, very, very valuable. You can do it. We have online meditations all the time. I think there's a lot of that being posted for you so you can know the different links of where to go, etc. We're also going to have another follow-up program next Saturday at this time where you can ask questions. You see, that'll be all explained to you. And so, so therefore, we're going to end with a very easy meditation. It's a singing meditation, we'll call it. It's chanting the mantras with music. We call it, kirtan, congregational chanting. So I'm going to play the guitar and sing while everyone listens. And then we're going to respond. And all of you can sing along with the response. Okay? Is it going to be any mantras on the screen? We're going to make it a real simple mantra because you don't know the mantras, perhaps it's going to be Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. One more time. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol. Okay, this will be short. We're running out of time, but nonetheless, it'll be powerful because it's transcendental sound. The power is in the sound. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Everybody. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. 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 Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. 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 Hey. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur. Haribo, Haribo. Haribol. That was my friends, the Chintamani singers. So we have a little group of people going, all living in a house, you see, chanting mantras every day, sending it out to everybody who wants to receive it. See, you can go through all kinds of difficulties. You know, it doesn't matter what the difficulty is, personal difficulty, you know, national difficulty, pandemic difficulty, you know, they're all the same when you've got the Lord in your heart, your shelter, your protection, your peace, the mantras, everything. You're ready. You're ready for life, no matter what comes, the good and the bad. All right, so we thank you very much for joining us. We're all together, see? All together. That's how it is, you know. Yoga brings us together, and material life divides us. We got so much to talk about, but time is up. Namaste, Haribo. Remember, Gauranga meditation, Kirtan meditation, many links available. Go there and get the benefit. We wish you all the best. Haribo, Haribo. Namaste. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihar